guys, well today I am cooking something on the fly really. I've got a lot of stuff I found in my fridge I've got to get rid of because it's going out of date. I also happened to find this box of Atkins Pasta. It's been there for about 3 years. I've used it before. I think it tastes okay. Obviously it's quite carb dense, so it's not something that I would eat often. But as I've got quite a lot of stuff that the deli meat I've bought that needs to be cooked, I thought let's make some pasta and see how we go. So I am kind of making it up as I go along with what I've got in the fridge. So absolutely swap it out for things that you prefer. So I found a pack of salami in the fridge that was already good on a discount because I love my labels, the yellow labels. So I think time to get rid of that. So I'm going to crispy fry it in its own fat, pretty much, to get it all nice and crispy, almost like bacon. Found this pack of smoked ham as well. Again, it's got to be eaten, so I'm thinking putting together great combo. As I mentioned in my intro, Atkins pasta. I'm thinking in like a creamy, cheesy sauce. I was going to pop in a little bit of spinach as I found that in the freezer. I forgot I've got it. And to make my cheesy sauce, keeping it really simple because there's going to be a lot of salt coming off of the salami and the hams. So I probably won't season anything other than pepper. And also I'm going to go a bit Italian. So some mixed herbs, some oregano, or oregano if you prefer it. I found some chilli seeds, so I'm going to throw some of those in as well. And I've got some bits of cheese to get rid of, but please feel free to substitute things that you prefer. If you sort of got other cold cuts you want to get rid of, you know, whatever it may be, feel free to do that. I'm sort of aiming for quite a hearty, sort of salty, spiced, creamy pasta. The pasta is quite carb dense. I think it's saying on the label, if I remember rightly, 25 grams of dry pasta is 5.6 grams of net carbs. I presume it's net carbs. So yeah, it's quite carb dense for what you get. So I probably will be I'll be weighing this out. I've got about half a box left. I'll probably cook the whole lot in my water that is beginning to simmer. Weigh it out, cook the whole lot, and maybe do 4 or perhaps 5 portions, depending on how it comes out. And I'll put the macros up at the end and give my verdict as well at this delicious Atkins pasta. So I've measured out what I've got. I've got 176 grams of dry pasta, 25 grams a pot for a small serving. So that's, God, my maths is terrible. That's 7 portions of the small side. She's a little low. So I'll probably be looking at making it into 5 portions if I can, depending on how much the pasta swells up and how big portions they're going to be. I also mentioned I've got some cream cheese. I've got about 3/4 of a tub left, so I measured in here 280 grams. I'll probably use half of that as well. I've gone for the full fat because obviously that's the least amount of carbs. If you've looked at the labels of cream cheese, when it's reduced fat, they put crap in it and it ends up with a high carb, sadly. So yeah, I'll be going for that, and just some cream to thin it down a bit as well. So my salami is merrily cooking away. I want to get a little bit crispy. My pasta's cooking. I forgot to mention, and I apologise, this pack of salami is 90 grams. So depending on, I'm a firm believer in making things your own. So if you've got a bigger pack, smaller pack, tweak your macros if you are, following the recipe to the letter, and you've got different things. But yeah, I'm going to let this get nice and crispy. And then I'll probably add in the spinach and the cream cheese and the cream and a little bit, all my spices and things. The pasta apparently takes 25 minutes to cook, which is quite a while. So by then this should be done and ready for mixing together. Okay, so I've weighed out my cream cheese. It's 100 grams of cream cheese. I've also changed my mind. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in there, about 5 grams, which is about 2 cloves. A little bit of onion powder as well. So so I'm going to add this into the pan. The spinach is very nicely melting, giving it some nice coverage, getting rid of the moisture as I go. So I'm going to add the cream cheese in and the cream. And yeah, and when the pasta is done, it's looking okay, but that's 7 portions apparently. I'll add it all in and divide it all up, and then crucially have a little taste. Okay, so I've finished it off. I've worked it all out. I mean, this pasta is obviously high carb anyway, so there's going to be no surprises. This is going to be, even with Atkins pasta, it's going to be high carb. I'm going to say this is a side dish rather than, you know, a main meal to have with something else. It has got a really strong flavour, so I think having a large portion anyway would be a bit too rich. So I'm going to say this is going to be 6 portions. You know, so we're looking at, you know, that kind of size of portion. So like, you know, a good side portion with maybe some chicken or something like that, and it truly would be enough. Maybe a bit of halloumi or something like that. Each one is 9.6 grams of net carbs, and that's 6 portions in there. Obviously you can add more in to pad it out or take stuff out. I've had a taste of it. It's really, really nice. It's got a real punch to it. So I do think it would be okay as a side with your main meal if you're just going to have some protein. I think it would be, you know, enough. So although it is high carb, yes, it's pasta, even though it's Atkins, I think that it would be okay. I'd probably save it for when I'm having, you know, a higher carb day, maybe carbing up. But yeah, it's really, really tasty, really strong. And I do recommend you make it if you are craving pasta. Just have, you know, to keep it in your freezer, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to portion it out into 6 portions, quite small ones, obviously. And just freeze them up and have them, grab them when my partner's having pasta, or I just fancy it. And it's a real strong, rich flavour with that Parmesan cheese in it. Okay, so these are my 6 portions. I'm pretty happy. I've not actually weighed them, I've eyeballed it, so please forgive my sloppiness of side portions. But you know, for a side portion of pasta for 9.6 grams of net carbs, it's actually not that bad. It looked worse in the pan, but I mean, it's obviously your choice. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think. Is it worth it for you when you're really, really craving pasta? What would you do differently? What would you add? How would you make it your own? Please comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.